I really don't belong. I can't explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming, or on the edge of remembering?
Hello, darlings. It is Sunday. It is raining. It's going to rain all day. It's going to rain all night. And it looks like most of tomorrow. That is the rumor. I have, as usual, a bunch of different things going on. Our security entrance is not working. I've already made 3 trips to the lobby to let somebody in who I paid to deliver to my door. Luckily, they carry everything anyway. And I'm expecting another delivery today because I had to use up some money in my account before I lost it. So it was use it or lose it. So I used it. But they didn't give me a whole lot of options for days. That where it was going to be main out, just a lot of rain, and then really, really hot. And I thought maybe they'd like to deliver in a cooler temperature with rain, better than dragging stuff around the community and driving in 85 to 93 degrees. So yeah, we're getting slapped right back from very pleasant spring weather to the end of summer, the brutal end of summer. Thank God for air conditioning. Okay, so this is still very wet. It is a felt that I made for my friend to use as her canvas in a needle felted painting. And it is not as perfect as a commercial. I can see some thinner spots here and there. So she really is going to have a smaller area to work with. I left this though because she can kind of make a frame, and if she leaves this larger, it'll fit in a larger frame, and it's easier to find a common size than something little. So she'll have the opportunity to try something different. This is very wet. This sat on here all night, and with all of the water that it's soaked up, it's still not dry. So I trade towels. And lay this over here on a dry towel. I didn't realize how wet it was, or I would have done this before I started. So it's Sunday. We used to do Sunday as the last show to be given up. Sunday mornings, 10:30, our sacred time. And I have to admit that all my moving around from station to station, of course we've lost a lot of our following. And I have never been concerned with numbers because I don't do it for a following. I do it to be here for people in the moment if they need me. I'm fine with that. But I guess in YouTube it matters. So if you would remember to like and subscribe if you want, at least it's free. I don't do the Sunday shows like I did because we don't have the same following that we did, who wanted meditations, information on energy, how to work, the law of attraction, etc., etc. So when people have questions about that, or an opportunity arises where I can enlighten, I will. But other than that, because I'm pretty much alone when I sit down here, I'm going to be doing my arts, whatever that happens to be in the moment. Right now I'm really into wet felting. I have a project I need to do, and because I already know I'm going to be interrupted in an hour, I don't want to start on that one. So we're going to do a little side project here. I don't know why I bothered dragging this out and getting the water, so I guess I better go ahead and do that little project. I also have this project. We're going to be turning this into a flower, and that's going to be needle felted. We've already done the wet felting part. It's super light, and this is going to go on the beret I made to go with a dress I have and a purse. Now I was going to make this flower completely match, but then I got busy and I forgot to check this. So I like how that came out. This is going to be a different flower. We're just going to be a flowery person, I guess. But I want to make another beret with the greens, because it'll go with more than one dress. And this whole thing started with getting dresses with no pockets. Now I'm making a little poche de joie, little pockets of joy. The joy comes in the making of it more than anything. But then it also comes in using it, because I know when I go out there I'm the only person on the planet with this. I like that. Okay. So let's move this aside for a bit here. We've got more purple. Where's all my purple? Oh, there it is. So wait a minute, I just broke this up into pieces. I know I have more. Now one of the greens I would love to use, this is such a beautiful mint green. I only have an ounce of it at the most, and it's not enough to make a hat on its own. You need at least a couple ounces. So I'm going to use a couple others. Now the wool I'm going to use, this is Corriedale, and it's a little bit coarser than the merino. I've got 19-point merino, which is the finest I can get or can afford to get. And of course these, I guess, are averages, the size of the width of the hair. Now I saved these trimmings so I can make a little thing for the top of my beanie. That too will be needle felted in. So yes, we have needle felting ahead of us. The beanie thing will go there. I could be really crazy and do a very different thing, because after all, it is my hat. I'd make it little cat ears. No. All right. Now I did start making one, twisting it up in the traditional little pillar or a snake. But that's kind of interesting, just being flat, because you don't see that. I think we're going to keep that. These I'll set aside for now. Those can go into other things to create texture, and that's pretty cool. All right, let's put all that stuff together. I'm making piles of what is going to be done next. Now what's going to happen next is I'm having a sip of coffee, because I made some today, because I took my leisurely time instead of rushing here for 10:30. I had breakfast, and I made myself a cappuccino. Topped with dark chocolate. That's good. Okay. Tool number 1. A piece of plastic with bubbles. Number 2. What colors? Do I want to do more pinks? Orange, purple, and blue. Purple. Now, look at that plum. This is such a gorgeous plum, and I happen to have a purple that will go with that, which by itself is pretty good, because this was a local farm product, and this is from China. And again, the dyes are probably now more universal. But oh, I love this too. Now this This is very fine merino, and so is that. Oh, I've got indecision. I hate indecision. No. Puh. Another idea. I just remembered something I wanted to try. Let's see, I need to use some red in my next big project, the one that's sitting here waiting for me to have 4 consecutive hours to work. Red. The problem I had was the red bled, and I cannot have bleedy red. So I decided last night while I was in bed to do an experiment with the red. Make some lacy red, see how well it holds its color when I scrub it, and if we do well, I'll be able to cut out, hi Gary, I'll be able to cut out the shapes and incorporate them in the wet felting. So I've already done that successfully. I made a vessel and it came out beautifully. So that's what we're going to try. I need a really good red, and these have a little, that's good red, that's good. Yeah, most of my red has an orange in it. But I bought a blouse on Temu and it was advertised as red and it looked fairly red, you know. When you isolate it, it looks red. But as soon as I got it, it was like, this is not red, this is orange. I put it in my wardrobe and clearly it was orange. But technically it's a red. So technically, actually this is called chili, which suggests both orange and red. All right, we'll leave all of that out for now. I'm not going to be using all of this. But at least we're going to know right away. If it bleeds, it's going to have to get scrubbed before I incorporate it. I'm always tempted to go autumny. I love the way oranges and reds and yellows all work together and make beautiful new shades, and you throw some pinks in there. It's like, they're just delicious and warm and loving. I don't know. Stark red doesn't really do anything for me. Nice clear red, yeah, but okay, so we want this to be very lacy because it's going to go into another project. At the same time, it's got to be opaque enough to not let the blue it's going to be on show through, like really show through. So we're gonna test all this. So how is Gary? Are you also enjoying a leisurely start to the day? It's been raining since yesterday. It's going to continue to rain through tomorrow. The festivities for Memorial Day have been canceled, the outdoor ones. The parades have been canceled all over the state. We're under a big green cloud. But next is coming hell, so I actually had to turn the heat back on today so I could take a shower comfortably. We're just going to give that to a needle felter. Don't flip over, we're trying to keep you light. and thin. This reminds me of trying to paint with the magnetic, the iron oxide dust. You get little iron oxide. They used to have a magnet wand and put a beard and eyebrows on a face that was under plastic. And what that is iron shavings. Basically a waste product that people found a way to use and make money on. But it was fun. But the problem with this, you couldn't get too artsy because the magnet inevitably, if you were working with it for a while, would kind of magnetize the iron for a bit. And wherever you went, you just dragged everything with you. So you were left with like really bold shapes and no finesse. And that's kind of like what this is right now. It is just clumpy wool. It is at least genuine wool. It looks like it. It's acting like it. Okay, we're not going to need too much of this, so let's move on. Now I've got a gorgeous orange viscose, which is so tempting to add, but the color for this project is supposed to be red, and like a red highlight, so it needs to be nice and bold and bright and clearly red. Now, if you've never tried to color match red, you're in for a nightmare. Just the reds alone exemplify why, if you're knitting or crocheting something and you choose red, you need to buy all the red you're going to need for that project right then and there. You cannot expect to come back and find the exact same shade. Although it's synthetics, that's a lot easier to control, and still they can't guarantee it. Things happen. Okay, good. We got a bunch of variations. Now, the other way. Perhaps some more. You can hardly hear. Oh, the mail. They're working on the housing on today. I can't hardly hear you. My volume is up as loud as it can be. It's the same as it always is. I never touch the volume. Oops. Did you hear that? Sorry. Oh, this red is all we're going to have to do this experiment with, so it better work. I'm going to have to order some red. I don't know why I haven't. I guess because red is not a prominent color in my wardrobe right now. People with the most subscribers get the best support on YouTube. I look like a fledgling channel, despite having been here forever. Because broadcasting from here is new. It was just a storage page. Oh boy. I'm going to end up having to use another red somewhere in here. Because, oh, there's another piece of grass. This one came straight from the farm. That. All right, let's get another something. Well, I've got the very warm orange red. I don't know. I'm going to put a little orange tips here, since it'll blend in with the red, I hope. I suppose this can be the back side of it. I'll put the brighter red up front. It might even work out better. Now this has a lot of grass. This came from one of those kits, needle felting kits. All right. God only knows what this is going to do. But we got plenty of soapy water. It's hot soapy water. To find out. That should do it. I will take a moment to suck in some coffee while that sucks in the water. Well, I'm going to have to net it. Now we got a puddle of water here. That's good. Get some of that water to move down here. Yep. A portable puddle. And let's bring it back down here. Actually, see it. Get it darker right there. Now fill this up like a little floodplain. Come on. There we go. Floodplain. Now, I am starting to feel suspicious that this might not be real wool, because this, despite being soaked, wanted to pop right back up. Now, as you probably didn't hear when I was explaining, synthetics shed the water super fast. If you take a pinch of real wool and get it wet and rub it in your fingers, it'll knot up. That's felting. If you use synthetic and do that, when you're done rubbing it, it'll just lose its water and poof back up into its synthetic self. It doesn't felt. And if that is the case, and I just went through all of this for naught, well, I already know not to buy from here. So I guess nothing will change. All right. Let's get another piece of plastic to flip this onto. Let's stay down. Hello there, how are you? Happy Sunday. I am making, well, I'm hoping I'm making, I'm not sure yet. I'm making a piece of felt that should be kind of lacy, so I can cut out shapes of it and insert them into a wet felting project. I tried making this project before. And I made a few mistakes. But the worst mistake was, you might not be able to see all this staining here in this light, but all this was silk and it did not stick, but it left its dye behind, so the red and orange bled, and I don't like that. The other mistake, aside from that, great, but this did not go right. The seam is too weak over there, and yeah, over here it's too weak. And this flared out, and I didn't want it to flare out. I was trying to get something that was more, upright and down, the way my purse came out when I did the same technique. So we're going to have a different do-over with a different mold, not a mold, different template. So I thought, I'll make sure that the red dye is fast. So I have this red stuff that I got from a needle felting kit that gave lots of samples of different colors. And sometimes they're not real wool, they're synthetic. And I'm not sure yet if this is real wool or synthetic, so we'll know in a few minutes. It's very wet right now, might be a little too wet. You have to be really gentle with it at first. So what are you working on today? They're working up well. I hope so. I hope so. I made my hat. I have my hair up right now, so I'm not going to put it on, but it's my beret. And I made a flower that I've got to finish to put on it. That's for that. And a little piece of felted material to put the little beanie thing in there. But all the rest of this is needle felting, not wet felting. So right now it's sitting aside waiting for me to just do the needle felting. So what have you made this week? I looked at your site, I subbed, and you do some cute stuff. We're not ready to roll it up. It's felting even as I'm sitting here. Except perhaps right there, because that is a bit much. So we're going to soak up a little bit of that. Let me get my sponges here. I love these sponges. They're really for the kitchen, but I reserved a couple for my table, in part to wipe off the brushes of their excess water and catch water if I spill it, because sometimes that happens too. and it is a sponge. And it's in my way. So sit there for a few minutes until I feel like standing up. Okay. Well, you can do it this way. The bubbles underneath are working the other side. Like, oh, good. You want to get some of that suds up to the front. So I don't know what the weather is like where you are, but it's raining here. It rained all night. It's going to rain all night again. And then we're going to be hit with what we usually get in the end of summer. So right now we have spring. April showers, but it's May. And by Tuesday we should have August. We did it. Okay. Now the lacy part, we're looking at the orangey side. The other side is what I'm going to want facing out. I ran out of the red and got the only thing I could go. Where are you? Summer, huh? Australia? Actually, I don't know where it is summer right now. I always get the seasons mixed up. I have a hard enough time remembering timelines here in this country. India, oh, very hot. Big continent. Country or city? If you divide things that way. And what I'm actually getting to is, do you grow your own food at all? Do you have a garden? And I love Indian food, so food frequently comes up here. I hope that is good. For me, that would be good. No, huh? I live in an apartment and I can't grow outside any food. So I grow in jars. Okay, I can feel it becoming fabric underneath my hands. It's starting to lift away. That's a good sign. It is 1:36 in the afternoon. It is past lunch time, but well before dinner or supper. $11 in the morning. Sunday or Monday? Is it Sunday or Monday for you? Oh, 11 p.m. Okay, same day. That is not felted. And this is way lifting. Okay, we're going to do this bit. This will get rid of the excess water as I squeeze it out. And it makes it felt way faster. It'll get lumpy if I do it right. There's some excess water. But see how that's separating? That's not a good sign. One of these fibers might be synthetic. If it's synthetic, it will not work. See what that's doing? That's a very synthetic thing to do. And it's very disturbing. My very first project that I wanted to make for myself was a pocket for this big baggy sweatshirt that I had, big black shirt. And I got a ton of this red in, thinking it was wool. And I went and I made a pocket, and it wouldn't hold together. No matter what I did, it just kept like a pillow being cut and the stuffing coming out. And that was when I first started learning about synthetic versus wool and why it matters. Now, if this will felt at all, I can still make use of it even if it's synthetic by needle felting it into a wet felted end product. But I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to make something that I can wet felt into the project. Kind of, it melts it into it and it bonds forever. And it's a beautiful effect. You know what we can use too. Oh, here it is. Yeah, see that? That should not happen. good night's sleep. Thank you for coming by. See you next time. That's two very distinct layers. All right. I just saw. Come here, black hair. I know it ain't mine because I don't have any black hair anymore. Maybe. Maybe. Really uncertain. All right, let's go ahead and do this one again. This is suspicious. As this is drying, it's drying really well. But other parts seem like they're felting are still quite wet. So something is strange here. Something I used can't be real. Well, real wool. Let's take a look at you. Yep, that's got to be synthetic. You bastard. All right, we're giving it the test. Okay, this is this. I'm going to say that is not synthetic. This seemed to felt up right away. That's a good sign. And what about this one? I have a feeling this is going to be the one that disappoints. I know it's Sunday. Yarn for More is in India. So that's what I was asking her when she said 11, if it was Sunday or Monday. India's quite a ways away. Well, this looks like it's felting. So what the hell? These two oranges are doing what they're supposed to do. This red is not. Damn. So you're doing the chopsticks here, not the chopsticks, the sushi mat, the bamboo sticks. That will make something felt, for sure, if it's feltable. It's really, can't say a shortcut because people are using, what do you call it, sanders to speed up the agitation process. But you can do this. And initially, I don't like the marks it makes, but they come right out. You know, that's not a hard thing. But see here, this should be getting thinner in my hand. And what it's doing instead, it's exactly what that other synthetic crap did. So this was a waste of time, but this is why we did it. Because if I could not make it work on this, that means it's not going to work when I try to felt it into the big project. And considering how much wool and time the big project is going to take, I'm glad I did the test first. Now, it doesn't mean all is lost. Depending on the kind of texture you want in your project, you can save these pieces, dry them up, cut them, and you felt over them. And they do resist, but that's okay because you put something good over it, it traps it in there, and it becomes part of the design. And that's pretty cool. So we are going to put these away to get rinsed out, dried out, and added to the maybe we'll use you eventually, but not today pile. Okay, so let this dry. Get this out, and these can go away because these are real. And the bottom line is I have 0 red felt, which again changes the project I was about to work on. Now, what else did I take out? Oh yeah, this gorgeous, gorgeous color. Hold on. Look at that. Is that beautiful or what? And it goes with this purple here I have. I believe it will go with this purple, which is really a heather. I'm going to have to make myself something to wear with this. So soft, so beautiful. I'm going to put that in here with the purple. Okay, so that was a disappointment. Lesson again, always test your materials before committing to a larger, more expensive project. Now, isn't that beautiful? If I need more, I know where to find it. And we have this, what are they calling that? That's gold merino. What's this? This other gold merino. This is 19 micron. This is not. You can feel the difference and see the difference in the sheen. I don't know why I put it in the bag there, but do you want some of this? Yes, we do. Try to be a little more even. Let's throw that on there too, since I don't believe I'm going to have any use for that by itself. And now, something outrageous. I'm going to have that orange viscose. Oh, this is just outrageous, isn't it? Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, let's... purple in there. Got some wild contrast here. A little bit. this is too wet. We need a dry one. Let's have a dry piece of plastic. This is the big piece. Stay over there a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay, so earlier we were just a little while ago and totally blown leaves, future leaves. So I'm going to go with what I've got, which is really more the autumny colors. And that's okay, because it's a representation of autumn, not, doesn't have to be actual autumn stuff. I'm not doing pumpkins because I'm going to make something to be used year-round. This is for our library because I've got all this extra stuff and I can't get involved with anything really serious at the moment because I'm expecting a delivery, which I'm going to have to go downstairs and rescue since our security stuff is not working this weekend. Let's start down the bottom. I'm going to build you up here. So what's today's game? Who's playing what today? All right, now I want to start this early, so make sure it gets incorporated and on every level. Our beautiful glowing orange viscose gold sari silk, which we'll put when we get back up to the golds. Now my plan is for this stuff to migrate, to get involved with other threads here. And get all glowy. We also have texture, little red nips. Got a little bit more of this. Untangle, darling. Untangle. So Sunday used to be all about getting together with the family, the Sunday dinner, or my family, the Saturday afternoon dinner. And this being Memorial Day weekend, a lot of people were planning picnics and cookouts and all kinds of stuff like that. And sadly, for many, that's kind of been postponed or outright canceled for weather, because we're having a lot of weather right now. Okay, stay there, yellow. This is such a fun color. It is so outspoken. Wait a second. Let me make sure this is well. It's got that synthetic feel to it. And after everything I just did, I don't want to go through this again. Are you nodding or are you just faking it? Synthetic crap. All right. Well, save some time. We're gonna have to get some more of that. That's so nice and happy. Now we need to get more wool. A bit more of this beautiful orange. Come here, you. Yeah, a little bit more. I'm making a mess of that end. Back in there. You come back here. Just another pinch. Yeah, we definitely need more of that magenta. As wild and insane as it is. Not sure that'll do, but we're just going to be ready in case. Okay. You beautiful silky will you? Okay, I'm just going to find me to watch you. Are you massaging your legs or putting them up and doing something for the circulation? Are you developing varicose veins or anything? Because you're so young for that. This stuff has such a gorgeous sheen to it. It kind of makes you think of silk or something. Spun silk. I hope you're wearing compression socks. That's what the doctors advise for people who are on their feet a lot, or people like me sitting a lot. It helps the blood come back up to your heart and not make your legs starve for oxygen, which is one of the reasons you can have pain in your legs after being on your feet all day. Sunday was never a thing. Oh, in your family? No church dinners and all that stuff? Sunday chicken or Sunday roast? No, we had, yeah. The Sabbath is from sunset Friday to sunset Saturday. So the real religious did not eat very much during that. But there usually was a decent meal Saturday after the sun goes down, or the family would get together on Sunday. Not because it was Sunday, just this day of the week when everybody was around. Usually after shul, everybody goes back to the house, like, church. But because they're not allowed to have a bunch of food, well, you can eat, but it's usually something like you do the blessings over a piece of cake and some wine. You can't cook, so anything you have would have to be like cold cuts or something that doesn't need to be heated. But my grandmother, who was the one that was the pain in the ass about diet and all that, meaning the religious diet, she hated my father. So my father did not want to have a weekly meal with Nanny. She would just make things miserable. Luckily, I was brought up by people who did not believe in fighting in front of children. So there was a lot of stuff I never had to hear because I was always there. So they couldn't argue in front of me. I liked that. Once I figured that out, I knew how to stop arguments. Walk in on them. They don't like that. Okay, so we got orange behind. Should I bring yellow all the way up the back? Because that'll make that very rosy, won't it? Let's try. We've got plenty of it. It's not my favorite yellow, but it is a beautiful wool. Oh. Gold merino. Because we've got to put a back layer on this to hold it all together when I cut it. That should do it, I think. Yeah, that should do it fine. Again, we don't want it too thick. This is not going to be worn. It's going to be used as a bookmark. Well, a bunch of bookmarkers. Now, just as a warning, because of the lack of delivery support we have right now, I may have to go running, which would mean a hasty ending to this stream. got plenty here. Now, when I lived down south, Sunday was definitely a thing for my neighbors. That was when everybody did their socializing. After church, you can sit on the front porch and get stuff ready to put up. We'd sit there and peel pears for preserves, things like that. But if the family was visiting, it was just a visit day and no chores. It is so wispy. All right. Let's make a nice sheet. Feels nice and lacy on the top. Now, I put a bunch of stuff on the front of it. Viscose, sari silk, and wool neps. Neps are the little things that develop as you're spinning your yarn or combing your yarn. Okay. All right, we are going to get another piece of plastic to put on top of this. Or wait a second. You can use this. I'll use plastic. I'm gonna have to be able to turn it upside down. Uh-oh, I see a notice. Hold on. Oh. Advertisement from ShopRite telling me it's grill time. Come get your special deals at the grocery store for grilling. while it's pouring. Now there's no specific pattern for this because I just want a bunch of colors working together and some cool looking additions. Don't be flipping over. We want you to stretch out there. Take a look at the front. Kind of cool. But I don't see enough of the viscose popping through. So, hold on a second. Put it over there. Let's get more viscose out and see if it'll work. Might be too late already. But we're going to give it a shot anyway. Just because this stuff is so cool. And it looks so pretty when it's all felted in and shiny and all that. Okay. Now, let's put that back. Don't go anywhere. Now, the stuff I put in here is not attached yet. It doesn't felt by itself. It needs wool on top of it to hold it in place. And I have this little poof there. Come here, let's poof here. Poofy? Wait a second. Let me make sure it's wool. It feels like wool, maybe. Give me a chance to have a sip of coffee. Okay, that is real, but I decided after looking at it wet, that's not the color I want. I'm gonna go with a little weirdness. You can't see it very well, but this will help hold this stuff in place. And we just want little bits of it because, you know, too much is just defeating the purpose of choosing all the colors. But we do have to have it stay down. Oop. that's a bit much. Hold on. Okay. One more time. Oh, that's going to be cute. All right, that brightens it up. When it dries, it'll be way better. Okay, so once there's an embellishment, you can't work on that side. You have to work from behind, so you don't disrupt all the stuff that's just barely hanging on. Because it's not really attached, it's just stuck by water. So all of the work comes from behind. Once everything is in place. Now these are really beautiful quality wools. And they felt beautifully. Okay. We're going to use this side, which is smooth. And we're going to use another little technique, that's too wet. You can use anything to do this. Matter of fact, this works really nicely. A bar of soap that I have all this wool stuck on, and it's very textured. So although I'm not trying to actually lay soap down, some of it's coming up. The texture is helping felt this without disrupting it. And it gives my shoulders a little break from rolling, rolling, rolling. Did you find a movie, Gary? Is it raining down there? Is it a rainy afternoon in Georgia? Oh, no. Take a look at the front. And I left home, one of the things I was determined to do was set out my own roots, because I didn't want my family's, and to create my own traditions. So I'm always creating a new little tradition for myself, because not everything works in every age. I had a tradition for New Year's Eve for a while where I ate a whole slice of brie with breadsticks and caviar. No alcohol, but plenty of fat and salt to get me through the holiday. And then later on, with the heart thing coming up by surprise, was like, I probably shouldn't do this heavy ass cheese. It's really not good for my heart or veins. So I gave up the brie on New Year's Eve. But I do like to do something. So what I have done for many years, been consistent about New Year's Eve. I do not do resolutions. I don't believe in them. But I do believe that you should be doing something to bring the year in. If you're going to be up at midnight, you should be actively involved doing something you really love and something you want to do more of in the coming year. When I was younger, that might be having really good sex. But as I got older and got divorced, that kind of also fell by the wayside. But whatever it is you're doing, it should be one of the things that you really like to do and want to do more of. So for me, that was the symbol that start off the new year doing something I love and carry that into the year. So, your own traditions. And they matter more. Because for me, sitting around doing this is very meaningful. It's not just making something, it's about what I want my new year to look like. Excuse me. Creative. Let me just check. I'm checking my order because yes, I know my cart is empty. I paid for everything already. Let's find my account. Arrives today between 3 and 5. They're searching for a delivery driver. Well, they're one available, unavailable. Ship it. Yeah. Ship for free. I'll take it. It's my hot cocoa mix. Okay, so I have, they don't have a driver yet. Now, you never know. But see, that's the problem when they don't hire their own people to do the job. Instead of using their own people, they went ahead and created, went and got a different account. And if they don't find a driver, then who's supposed to deliver the stuff? Oh, this is so cute. Okay, so from what I can see so far, even though it's really soaking wet, the pink is showing through behind the yellow and giving it both a bright pink and a peachy kind of a glow to it, which is what I love. And we got a little thing here that doesn't belong. More grass. Yeah. Okay, it's far from felted, and I can tell you right now it's because right now it's got way too much water. But it doesn't have enough soap. So, we're going to add some soapy water. Which is going to have to be soaked back up after I get it sudsy. Because this makes a lot of suds. And if it's too slippery, as in too much water, the fibers just slide back and forth across each other and they don't connect, which is clearly not what we want. We want connection. So after we get some more soap in, I'm going to use this to soak up some more water. Okay, a little excess to go. We don't want it dry, but we do need to remove some of that. Okay, yeah, still plenty wet. But now I can really feel the soap. And all the texture. Little nips. And when I first started hearing people using the different terminology, I'm going, what the hell is a nep? I look it up, it's N-A-P-P. It's like, what is a nep? It's like, and then I accidentally made some neps when I was carding some wool. It's like, oh, okay. It's the stuff that happens pretty much accidentally as you're making something else, but you've got a ton of them and you can collect them and use them in something else because it's the beautiful, pure, unfelted wool. It's just knotted up in little balls. Apparently it's become such a thing that every run of a different color they collect the neps and sell them, you know, like that. There's the red neps, and it's just a scoop of this stuff and it's all stuck together and you can pull it apart and cut it, and again makes little makes texture, adds interest to the feel and the look. On its own, it's garbage. No one knows what to do with that stuff. It's just little balls of wool that don't want to stick together, except like a big lump of wool. Gary must have fallen asleep. He was already in the position. I guess he won't be watching a movie after all. I love days like today. Gray, rainy, something Wednesday Addams could appreciate. For me, it's just another day to get cozy. It's a good day for hot cocoa. It's a good day for baking, playing around with stuff. Having hot cocoa or coffee. Oh, look at that. That's gorgeous. If I do say so myself. If you're just coming in, I'm making bookmarks. One big sheet that's going to be cut into bookmarkers and donated to our library. We have our own in-house library, and we now have a librarian. So I wanted to show my support by making him a bunch of bookmarks, and he enjoyed the last batch, which was all in blues and greens like underwater, and now we're doing more like the sunshiny colors. Okay, let's see if we can lift it. Why, yes we can. Now here the nips are popping off. I'll probably end up having to remove them, or somebody will pick them out when they get the bookmark. I'm not sure if they're bleedy or not, actually. It's hard to say if it's not up against a dark color. Okay. And as I said, you can't work the side of the decorations because you'll just rub them off. So where'd my other thing go? Oh, over here. There you go. Yeah, we're gonna use the bitey side. Now I'm going to go off in 15 minutes. Just letting y'all know. I appreciate you coming by. So at 3 o'clock, that's when I'm supposed to be starting to expect my delivery, if they find a driver. This should be interesting. You know, if you don't have drivers, I don't know why they offer the service. Or maybe they should pay me. Alright, we got some good suds now. A minute, please. Thank you. It's doing good. It's almost felted. Some of it is. Beautiful. It's wild, it's snazzy, it's hot. It's bookmarkers in the making. Let's see how well we did. I think we did it. All right. This is our future bookmarkers. I got a little carried away over here on the side, but it works. So I am going to say adieu, bonsoir, à demain, goodbye, good night, and I'll see you tomorrow, because tomorrow's Monday, and I will be here. And because it's a holiday, we won't be having an exercise class or anything else going on except for cooking. So until then, rest well.